Hej alla. Välkommen och tack för sist. So this video is gonna have a different feel to it on purpose. Had a really bad day today. I try really hard to look at the positive and let things go. But just to give you a little bit of background, I think I've mentioned several times actually that I'm a contractor. I'm on the road a lot. I travel for work, and that puts me all over the country. Sometimes in not great parts of the country, sometimes in beautiful parts of the country. But I wanted to do a kind of a shortish video comparing Norway and the US, both of which I love very much, as far as crime goes. So this morning, got up, had my coffee, and by the way, this video is not going to have a bunch of little pop-ups and stuff in it. This is just kind of my perspective on this, what's going on right now. And I've mentioned I don't like to get political, and I'm going to try not to do that in this video either. I just want to talk about some facts of the differences between Norway and the US. Also, really quickly, before I get into the heavy stuff, my parents are in Norway right now visiting family, and I've talked a lot about my family in Norway. Both parents, my brother has 3 living siblings and a bunch of nephews and nieces, and my mom has 10 living siblings and a whole bunch of nephews and nieces. And I guess I talked about my mom's side of the family and not my dad's side so much, but I want you to know both sides are extremely important to me. I've got fantastic family on both sides. I actually have a aunt that I named my daughter after, Kari. My oldest daughter is named Kirsten Kari, but hey, Tante Kali. And I know my dad and mom visited with my Uncle Magna as well, and Kjell Magna, which is one of my cousins. But one of these videos I'm going to kind of do maybe a little deeper dive into my family and background and stuff. But just so y'all know, I think about all of y'all all the time. Savner Norge så mye, vet du. I miss Norway a lot. Anyway, on to the main subject matter. So I came out this morning after having my coffee, walked to my truck like I always do, and I will put a picture of my truck here because I'll stick a picture right up here. This has happened to me so many times in the last few years, but I walk up to my truck, go to open the driver's door, and my whole window is smashed out. Crap is everywhere. I may also cuss a little in this one. I'm a little upset right now. I just went out and fixed it with some plexiglass because it's Sunday and I can't get anyone to fix it. I'm in Oklahoma City, which I think I'm in a pretty nice neighborhood, actually. I don't know what's going on. The cops seem to think that kids were looking for guns. But the funny thing is, every vehicle that was hit, at least at our hotel, and I guess several hotels around here got hit, was a Ram truck. All 3 trucks in our parking lot were Rams that got hit. None of the other vehicles got touched. They went through all my stuff, threw everything everywhere. Of course, there was glass everywhere. I said some really bad words when I saw that. Oh man, I was pissed. But I did calm down. I sat there, I waited for about an hour with the other 2 victims for the cops to show, but I've been through this several times. 3 times in California in the last couple of years. That's to be expected. If you know anything about what's going on in California right now, that's not surprising. But this is somewhere between 6 and 10 times now that my truck's been broken into in probably the last 7 or 8 years. Nothing really got stolen, a few dollars that were there. But they left some nicer stuff alone. I don't know what they were looking for. It's more the inconvenience. Like I said, I waited for about an hour for the cops to show with the other 2. And I finally said, you know what? They're going to show up here. They're going to come take a statement. They're going to take an hour of your time. and then nothing is going to happen. Nothing will happen. They have video surveillance. Yeah, I just got a reminder to do this video. That's timing for you. Let me see if I can get this off the screen. And so when I got back, I said, I got to go work. I can't just sit here and waste my time. It's done. It's over. I screamed. I swore a whole bunch and got it out of my system mostly. I'm still pretty pissed off. But when I got back to the hotel tonight, I went and asked the manager, and they said, yeah, the cops came, said there's not really anything they can do. You can send us a surveillance video, but so here's my main point of this video. So I did a little bit of research into Norway crime versus US crime. And I already knew this intuitively. I knew there'd be a giant difference. Norway is one of the safest countries in the world. It just is. Every time I've been there, I've never felt any threat at all. Homicides, which obviously I'm not dealing with that, thank God, but homicides are 0.5 per 100,000. That means, for every 100,000 people, 0.5, so 200,000 people, one person gets killed. In the US, it is 6 per 100,000. So it's like 0.53. So it's almost 12 times as many homicides here. Now, I'm not going to get into go down the rabbit hole of guns and that discussion, Second Amendment, blah, 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 blah. Some of you would agree with my point of view. Some of you wouldn't agree. I have no interest in causing that kind of argument here. My point is simply, I also looked into burglaries. It was a little tougher to find statistics specifically about burglary, but it's way lower in Norway. In fact, from 2020 to 2021, Norway had a drop of 115,000 crimes from the year before, which was significant because the year before wasn't that many. And it was like they said it was a 14% drop. Significant. And most of the crimes in Norway are pretty small compared to what we see as crime. But here's, excuse me, here's my main point. California, I got broken into 3 times in the last 2 years. The first 2 times I called the cops. The third time I stayed at a really nice hotel with a gated, locked parking lot that was fully lighted 24 hours a day. Well, I guess you don't need the light during the day, but you know what I mean. They had the surveillance video. These guys went to the back of my truck. I had a big generator sitting back there, locked with heavy chains. They cut the chains and walked out of there like it was nothing. They weren't worried about a thing. I didn't even call the cops that time. The manager said, we can turn this into the police, but they're not going to do anything. In California, any crime that's under $950 is a misdemeanor. And so you just walk. There's just no point. And I knew that would happen here too, even though I think Oklahoma is better with this kind of stuff. Where I live in Utah, we're pretty blessed. The crime is quite low. My area that I live in specifically, just not much happens, knock on wood, because I've definitely had my share of break-ins, but it's never at home. So I think it comes down to attitudes. What are we willing to put up with? What are we not willing to put up with? Again, I'm not going to get into the political debate of it. I just am talking purely about our reasoning as human beings, as citizens. After my truck got broken into, I put a post on Facebook with a picture of my busted window and said something to the effect of, all these people that act like this should be exiled to their own island where all the scumbags can live together, because they have no interest, no feeling, no caring about me or the other victims. It doesn't even cross their mind. It's just, what's good for me? What am I looking for? What can help me? So I'm curious, if you're digging what I'm doing here, and I'm trying to keep this mostly lighthearted, this is just a detour, and most of the videos will be much more upbeat than this. But I am curious, especially if you're in Norway, and I'm finding out that a lot of people watching are in Norway, including a lot of my cousins. Hej till alla mina syskonbarn. And if you got comments and you're like, well, this is why, or this, like I said, let's stay away from the political side. I don't want to go left or right on this. I have no interest in that. That can be left to some other guy's or woman's YouTube channel. There's another subject, guys and women. Speaking of modern society. Yeah. Nah, I'm not going there. Anyway, if you have some comments of why you think things are this way here and that way there, I'd be curious to hear them. And also, if you're digging it, please subscribe. I'm pretty sure of the button. I should look one of these times, but I know it's down here somewhere. And if you like the video, please click like. Give me a little thumbs up. Let me know I'm not just hallucinating and pretending I'm making these videos. So I think that's about it for now. Oh, Rocky 3 is on. He's about to fight Clubber Lang the second time. Gotta go watch that. Till nästa gång, ha det gott, ha det bra. Det var käckt att snacka med er. Till next time, have a great time. It was good talking to y'all. Cheers, skål.